All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
Okay, here we go.
Where the plays get broken down and science gets denied.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
Hour 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Raising Cane's studio.
All right, welcome back in. Hour number 2 of OTB. Here live from the Raising Cane's studio. I want to remind you about our friends over at Rouse's. We're going to be at Rouse's, Burbank and Lee, just like we are every single Friday during the football season. So come hang out, come join us, come have breakfast with us. Always remember, go to rouses.com. Why are you giving me a website to a grocery store? That's because you can find the one that is nearest you, and you can find the deals in the store that is nearest you. Always got something going on. Don't forget, the Tigers are on the road, but you're probably still going to host some kind of a watch party. Go ahead and get the spread at Rouse's, rouses.com. Dr. Stephen Etheredge is here with us. Doc, when the big voice lady says deny science, it's more like,
We're not denying you, Doc.
Yeah. It's not that medical kind of science. It's not medical science. It's
more sunscreen.
Sunscreen denier a little bit. That's me.
Carbon dating.
Carbon dating more than anything.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely question carbon dating. Mm-hmm. Oh, this thing's millions and millions of years old. Okay, how?
Yeah, it's dirt.
Right.
Of course it is.
Yeah, they kind of push
People play in dirt.
push
all
that
the
dirt
time.
together like a couple, 100 years ago.
Oh, it's man-made.
Yeah.
It feels appropriate.
Yeah. So, what's up, Doc? How we doing?
Doing well. How about y'all?
Doing fantastic.
Strong to quite strong. I did wake up kind of sad, though. I told him because I was dreaming that we were just beating Bainville 14-3. But then when I realized it was a dream, I felt much better about it.
It's a great reference. It's funny. I'm a little bit older than y'all, so that movie came out my freshman year in college.
Oh.
And I'm in Tallahassee. And so they had the part when what about your recruitment to Florida State?
Yeah.
Whole theater goes nuts.
Yeah,
I'm sitting there, and so
that's where Lance was going.
What
right?
about a
Lance is going.
scholarship to Florida State?
so it was good memories for sure.
All right, LSU coming off of a bye week. So before we get into some of the injuries across the country, a little vibe check, maybe across on the Ponderosa.
It's been good. The energy going back to last week. Obviously a lot of stuff going on. We've had a lot of changes, a lot of movements, but I think the guys are embracing it. Definitely a lot of energy around the facility. Sometimes change is good. It can kind of bring in some needed momentum, some needed kind of shift, and at least that's how it feels right now. We'll see Saturday, but at least the vibes are very good.
Yep.
That's kind of like why you get the air quote interim bump, if you will, because anytime there's some change, especially when things are going poorly, you get hope, right? You get a little bit of hope, a little bit of extra energy, and it doesn't guarantee that you're going to play great or guarantee that you're going to win. But there's an interim bump for a reason because there's not less talent in the building.
Right.
You see it in the NFL too. There's not less talent on a team. It's just guys get new hope. They believe, they get some more energy, and I think from all the reports, including you, have said it. The people that have been over there last week, this week, said prices have been great. The energy has been awesome. So fired up for this team, fired up for those young men.
Yeah, and it's still a great roster. We've talked about the roster going back to preseason, and this is a great roster. It's a hard league. We're going to lose some games probably, but let's just kind of see what we can do on Saturday.
All right, let's unfortunately go ahead and get to the injury for our guy JD5. Elbows are not supposed to go that way.
They've gone the other direction.
When you see those like that, it's just terrible. And we talked about it with the Cam Scadaboo. It's I don't need to see that replay. I saw it live, saw it once. That's good enough for me. Same thing with Jayden. And Jayden's was a little bit harder to see live, and we were talking about it. Almost felt like it was going to be a leg injury, just because you could tell he was in some pain. You weren't really sure, but man, when you watch, unfortunately, a replay found its way in front of me. That was very difficult to watch. And so, what exactly do you think happened, and how long is that rehab?
Well, it's an elbow dislocation, and those are outside the shoulder as far as big joints, the second most common joint that gets dislocated.
Yeah.
So we see a fair number of them. If we want to look at bright side, at least it was his left arm.
Yeah.
Right. If this is a quarterback with their throwing arm, that could be a potential career ender, or at the very least a devastating injury.
Yeah.
Something that you're going to have to really spend a lot of time. So if we look at the positives, it was his non-dominant side. So that's a positive. Typically that elbow, when it dislocates, it goes backwards. It dislocates posterior. You kind of fall on that outstretched hand, kind of like you see. And they're injuries that, just like any other dislocation, the most important question then becomes what structures were injured. And right now, not really sure how far the injury went. There are ligaments that hold your joint in place. You have your capsule. You have a lot of structures around it. And for a joint to dislocate, you're probably going to tear something. I mean, it's just going to happen because, if you think about it going
with
somewhere.
the elbow.
Yes, yeah. And so something probably tore. And most of the times you're at least going to end up with what's called an LCL, the lateral ligament, the ligament on the outside of the elbow, pretty much always tears.
Yeah.
It's not as important as of a stabilizer as some of the others. Still important. And so you're going to have to kind of see how he does. They're going to get an MRI, and it's a discussion I've had a lot of times with my partner, is Dr. Field, who he loves to talk about the MRI, and he's one of our elbow gurus. He's fantastic. But, that first MRI is always horrible. And he's like, you really can't see what's going on until the swelling has gone down, the bleeding has gone down, because you get at the initial MRI and it's going to look like a bomb went off in that elbow. And then sometimes as the swelling goes down, you're like, okay, it's not so bad.
Right.
So we're going to have to kind of wait and see. And it's going to be something that if it's unstable, they may have to repair it and fix it. But if it's something that heals pretty good, you can put him in a brace and see him back out there in a reasonable timeline, maybe even a few weeks.
I mean, Khalil Mack did this for the Chargers. He did the same thing, edge rusher, and he missed 6 weeks maybe.
Yeah.
Is back playing right now. Now he's got the heavy cast on, but that's an edge rusher. It's not a quarterback. Even with it being his off arm, probably going to spend a little bit of time, more time than 6 weeks, just because, you're taking hits and you're falling to the ground. And
he's your franchise guy. He's the future of your franchise.
This is Jayden Daniels. I don't think they're going to be threatening without him.
The season's not going their way.
You put him. You put some bubble wrap around him right now.
I think that's where I'm at with
third different injury of the season, right?
Yeah, he's been getting beat up. It's not been a good year for our guys in the league, at least our Heisman Trophy winners. So.
Yeah. So when something like that happens and the elbow just completely bends the wrong way, and if that happens to a knee, right? I think that's the comparable joint here from upper body, lower body. Like if that happens to a knee, I mean, we're talking ACL, PCL, all the L's that people know of and hear of. But this doesn't happen to the elbow a lot because the elbow it's a lot harder to bend that way. You have to really hit it at the right amount of force, the right angle. Like a lot of things have to go wrong. So you talked about the outside ligament, but you hear a lot with throwers and elbows, a big elbow injury a lot is the nerve. So the ulnar nerve there, is that is that a threat to be what can happen to that? Can it be severed? Can it be torn? What can happen to a nerve rather than a ligament?
So most of the times the nerve won't tear, but it can get stretched and pulled, and in which case you can get an injury to that nerve. Fortunately, it's most elbow dislocations we don't get that, but it is a risk. And if you have a nerve injury, you're going to have some numbness, maybe even weakness going down in the hand, and that could be a big deal. The ulnar nerve is the one that's on the inside, and it is the one that's going to be injured. It goes down to your fourth and fifth fingers, so the ring finger and little finger. And again, if you have a guy that's trying to hold a ball, that's trying to do those things, and those fingers aren't really able to sense it or grip it, that could be a problem. So, again, that is something you have to watch for. Like I said, fortunately, it's not super common with the elbow, but it does happen. The other common injury you see is the MCL, the medial collateral ligament. That's the Tommy John injury.
Yeah.
That's, Brock Purdy had that. What's his face? The guy from Georgia who's now Miami. I'm drawing a blank. That's the injury he had.
Carson Beck.
Yeah, that's the injury he had. So those are injuries
Napoleon Dynamite.
Napoleon Dynamite, totally.
Does look like him.
Yeah.
But you're kind of saying that with an elbow injury, that we might really not know the significance of it for a couple of weeks. I'm assuming an injury like that, there's going to be some swelling that takes place, and that's not going to go anywhere for a little while.
Yeah, 100%. Like I said, they're going to do everything they can. They're going to get the image and make sure nothing broke. You worry about fractures as well. If the bony structures are good, you're going to kind of watch it. You're going to let it kind of let the swelling go down. You're going to reevaluate it, probably re-image it. You get a little better idea, and then you kind of move forward.
I feel like my shoulder went out of place, not all the time, but all the time. And it was just hey, put it back in and get back out there. How can you do that with the shoulder and not elbow, knee, ankle?
Did you see it?
Well, the shoulder, sometimes when it becomes loosened, it becomes unstable, and you'll sublux it or even dislocate it. And every time that happens, you do run the risk of further injury. So that's one of the downside of that, obviously. But, I had the exact same injury. My right shoulder, I didn't fix it until I was done playing ball. Yeah. Probably paying the price for it now.
Same way, yeah.
It would pop out about every few games, best case scenario. And, shoulder, though, it is a little looser. So once you loosen it up, each dislocation, while significant, maybe a little less. Not condoning said behavior, not recommending that for our people out there. But
I felt like that was the norm. Get it back in.
Yeah, you just got to make those decisions.
There.
Yeah, we watch those a little bit. We realize the more times you dislocate, the more damage.
Cool.
But
cool.
you know,
Yeah.
I would have
You
still
don't
done it the way I
say.
did.
Oh, I don't know.
Every time your shoulder goes somewhere it's not supposed to, damages a little bit more.
Gosh, we had a big game in 2005. I think it was Auburn at home. Yeah, Auburn at home, and just came out. But it was like one of those games where the fullback was in the game plan a lot, and I was still playing fullback. I hadn't moved to tailback yet, and I'm like, put this thing back in. We got to get out there. Now, every time that I hit one of the linebackers, I could feel at the bottom of my feet. One of those just tingles. But you know what? We got back out there.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That makes sense. I always wonder because like you hear shoulders going out more than you hear almost anything going out, and it's
Yeah, that's
like
the
you can
most
get them back
common.
in and then get back out. Well, not for a quarterback probably,
Yeah.
but for a meathead fullback.
Same thing with the shoulders, though. I would say, or I would ask you, are stingers kind of in that same vein? Like once you start getting stingers, they're more likely to keep happening and happen. Because I had a couple of friends that played fullback in the NFL, and they're like, I had to retire because I was getting like 3 stingers a day at practice.
Yeah, they can be more common once you have the stinger, and then it goes down to the physiology of why you're getting them. Is it something in the actual neck, which is always a neck injury?
Call
I should
those
say,
the
but-
burners.
Yeah, it's a little burner, no
Yeah.
big deal. But if you have a spinal problem, then that's a bigger
Right.
concern. If there's something there, that's causing this repetitively, sometimes there can be structural abnormalities in your vertebrae that can cause these where that nerve gets pinched. So that's a different injury. But even if it's just a stretch injury, that can, once you do it, you're a little more prone to it, especially in the short term after
Yeah.
potentially.
And
What makes that burn?
what is a stinger?
Because
Explain
like
what a stinger.
I
You
feel
hear
like
the
a
term.
stinger and a burner are different for me. Like it was a different feeling.
So it's a nerve injury. And nerve
Okay.
injuries we often associate with that burning sensation.
Yeah.
You have the nerves that come out of your neck, go through
Lava.
what's called the brachial plexus here in the shoulder. And usually it's this kind of your head gets stretched to the side, kind of in a lateral movement. That's
Yeah.
usually when the most common presentation. And that nerve just gets stretched. And then wherever that nerve goes, that's why you feel it go down the arm into the hands and tingling, the numbness. We worry about it when guys are weak. So if you'll see us doing an assessment after a burner, if a guy's weak, if his arm's weak, that for me is a red flag. So those are the injuries we're going to probably hold you out. If you had a stinger, burner, and it goes away, we're going to let you go back in.
Yeah, I watch NFL games and I like to watch in between plays, especially like after big hits, big collisions, and you see like a safety coming to clean up after throwing a shoulder in there, and like you see him get up and they're kind of doing this and shaking it out, and they're got their head tilted like towards their shoulder a little bit, and you can see them just like trying to shake it off before they get back in the huddle. I'm like, yeah, it's a stinger.
It's called
You know what
self-talk.
that is.
Huh. Yeah, that's exactly what a stinger is.
Yeah, you'll be okay. Stop being a baby.
It
Get
just
back
burns.
in there.
It burns like there's a 1,000-degree plate on my neck, but fine.
It's
Going to be okay.
100%.
That's exactly what it feels like. All right, last one, Doc. I want to ask you. We just had the NFL trade deadline yesterday. So when somebody gets traded like this, obviously, like you've got some wear and tear because you're in the middle of the season. What are those physicals like compared to maybe preseason phys? Are they the same? Is same physical? Like, what's the difference?
It's going to be similar. You're going to focus on what you know. At the NFL, the rules with their injury, you have to disclose everything. So, and that's a big part of with their injury updates and all that. You have to have that information.
Yeah.
So you kind of know what the injuries are. At least you should. Now you're still going to hopefully do your due diligence. You're still going to make sure that there wasn't anything missed or whatever. But if you had a guy and had a toe injury, turf toe injury, you're going to evaluate that. You're going to say, is this healed? Because most of these trades are going to have some kind of a clause, where you have to pass the physical. You have to come in and pass it, or else we can kind of void those trades. So the guy's going to come in, and you're going to definitely do a full physical, but obvious you're going to focus on those things he has. You're going to focus on the injuries that have been on the injury reports. You're going to focus on what the other documentation has. Usually you're going to get the records from the other team's medical staff. That is something that is traditionally shared. So, it's not, you probably have a pretty good idea, but obviously you want to put hands on it yourself to make sure, hey, this thing really is healed. This thing really is stable, whatever that situation might be.
How much of the final decision to make a trade or to finalize it lies in the hands of the doctor that gets get the hands on the athlete right there and do that physical? Because, I hear the stories of if there's a pain type injury or somebody coming, out of an injury, they'll take a bunch of anti-inflams or pain because they want to be traded and they want to pass a physical. So they're juicing up a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. It's and I think you're going to find that it's going to be different with each organization. I think some of them are going to listen to their medical staff more than others. Some of them are going to say, hey, I've seen this guy play. He's a baller. Or, hey, we really need this guy, whatever the situation might be. Everything else, forget it. But I think with each organization, you will see there have definitely been some classic situations. I mean, probably the one we've all talked about the most is with Breeze not getting cleared in Miami, ends up here in the Saints. And that was a big deal, and that goes back to the medical staff, their opinions on what they thought he'd be able to do moving forward. And so I think, like I said, you'll see different organizations that are going to put very, very heavy reliance on their medical staff, and others that you have a GM or coach that's going to say, "Hey, we're going to go with this, guys. I don't care what y'all said."
Mm-hmm.
It was interesting. I had the benefit of going to the combine 1 year and just seeing how that works, and it is
brutal.
Crazy on the medical side because y'all been through. You see the physical, but then hearing the conversations in the room, and it's the same type of thing. These medical staffs, and we may not all agree.
Yeah.
I was there. We were working with the Saints, and we're talking about these guys, and it's like, hey, we want you to give them a grade, and then we want you to give them a number. So the grade would be like A, which nobody had an A except for a punter. That means you've never had an injury. So maybe a punter, somebody had an A. Most guys were B's and C's, but even with the C's, then they wanted you to give them a number. So if you were a C5, that means you had some medical stuff coming in. With that medical stuff, I think you make 5 years.
Huh.
And so we had to make our best guess. I mean, these are guesstimates, and we might give you a C5, and the Packers might have given you a C8, and the 49ers might have given you a B. And it's not all agreed upon, but even though we're all there together doing these exams, and for me to see that and be a part
wild,
of that,
right?
And you just have to, and you hear
And how much stock is put into like that in one number, like the decisions that have been made on a guy's future based on that one number.
And probably, well, look, we had that same year we had an offensive lineman who was going through, and he had some bad knees, and I heard the guys talk. It broke my heart because a good kid.
Yeah.
Hearing the discussions going on about him, and I was just like, man. So and the kid didn't get drafted. A kid that probably was a draftable talent, and to be fair, had a lot of medical stuff, and so I understood the discussion. But to be a guy that knew this kid, that cared about this kid, being there from the college side, it was heartbreaking. And so without a doubt, every year there are guys whose careers are probably ended at the combine.
And we could tell you firsthand from the combine experience. Like I was coming off a sprained AC joint, like a month and a half before, and it felt great going into the combine. But by the time the 30-second doctor had pulled and tugged and whatever on my shoulder, I was like, it hurts now.
It was crazy.
Anything would hurt now.
Yeah, because you get evaluated by everybody,
and they're pulling it. They're putting. Good
I
Lord.
had this doctor named Heavy Hands, Dr. Basin.
Yeah.
That was at the combine for the Saints. I was like, God, Dr. Mason, hey, chill out on the knee. Chill. Yeah, I've had a couple surgeries. It's okay. They don't need to know that. All right, Dr. Etheredge, we appreciate it every single week. Thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
Thanks, Doc.
All right, we'll take a break. We got Frank Wilson joining us in about 15 minutes from now, so stay locked in to OTB.
Off the bench.
All right, go to pelicanroof.com. Remember, they get that veteran roof giveaway. You go to community tab, top right corner of the website. You can nominate a veteran today. Go to the website. You can see the contact information as well in Lafayette, in Baton Rouge. Remember, boots on the ground in both locations, not just one location driving back and forth. They are there in those communities, always doing stuff in the local communities as well, like this incredible deal that they're doing with a veteran roof giveaway. So go to the website, find out more details. Again, click on community. You'll see the tab right there, pelicanroof.com.
That's right. With Pelican Roofing Company, you get an unmatched roofing experience, project experience. And what does that mean? It's unmatched in the customer service you get, the attention to detail, the service that they provide, and the quality of the final product. And yeah, I know making a roof, it's a big decision. Financially, it's a big decision for you and your family. Go to their homepage at pelicanroof.com. You can start the finance. They give you up to 0% financing for up to 21 months for qualified buyers. Go to pelicanroof.com.
Say what? Dirty South. Here we go. Can y'all really feel me? Baby girl. East Coast feel me. West Coast feel me. Can you feel us? Dirty South. Dirty. Can y'all really feel me? Feel it. East Coast feel me. Say what? West Coast feel me. Dirty South. Dirty. Can y'all really feel me?
From the locker room to the airwaves, it's Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
I've been watching you like the hawk in the sky. If you are my prey, boy, I promise you, if we keep bumping heads, I know that one of these days we gon' hook it up, probably talk on the phone, but see, I don't know if that's good. I've been holding back this secret from you. I probably shouldn't tell it, but if I let you know, you can tell nobody, I'm told by nobody. Are you responsible? Boy, I gotta watch my back, 'cause I'm not just hanging out.
How'd the telestrator work go yesterday?
It was good.
You feel confident?
No. I feel
left
way
you
more
here
confident. I was
by
on it.
yourself.
He was.
I played with it for about
grinding.
an hour and a half.
After I left?
Yeah, I got until noon.
Until noon.
So
yeah,
you ended up
'cause-
staying till then.
Yeah, because I left
I'm
and went and
proud.
ran
Right here
an
in this chair.
errand. And I came back at like 11:50,
Mm-hmm.
and he was still right in that same seat.
Yep. So I feel
He
good
was,
about it.
He was
I'm proud.
pretty good by the time I got back.
Yeah.
I had the tools loaded up, but the problem is I still got to get
The
the
mask?
clips downloaded
Oh, yeah.
on there
Yeah.
to do it. So we're not ready to go live yet.
No.
Hopefully
What?
we're.
Wait, which hadn't are you trying to download?
Oh, I don't hadn't got that far yet.
We're not ready to go live?
No.
I thought you said we're doing film today,
Oh, we can.
but just not with a telestrator.
Not with the illustrator.
It's kind of disappointing.
Well, sorry. I had meetings to go to.
Some people don't take the bye week as serious as they should. It's starting to show a little bit.
Y'all were just talking about how long I worked on the telestrator. It took a while to start getting used to them buttons.
Yeah, you got to familiarize yourself with it. Should I send Tay Tay the video of the film that you were breaking down yesterday? So that he could play it?
I don't know.
You took a
that-
video of that?
I don't know that that's
Wait, I thought I
ready.
sent it to y'all.
No, I don't know that that's ready. I don't think it's
Oh, the one on
polished.
the,
Oh,
on the
it's-
back screen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the left
Yeah.
tackle
Oh,
got
yeah.
beat.
Yeah, left tackle.
Well, it
He
should've
was
been-
here.
Yeah.
Should have been
Instead
there. It
instead
was
of here.
man.
We don't have to play it, but I'm going to send it anyway because I
Yeah.
thought I did.
Yeah.
That's right on.
All right, it's okay. We'll get that. We'll get it done. We are going to watch some Alabama tape, if I'm not mistaken, right? Didn't you say that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hour 3.
All right, just making sure. I didn't know how much advance notice I had to give you.
Yeah, we'll watch a little bit. I've been watching the Bama Tennessee film quite a bit because I would say the Tennessee offense, from a schematic standpoint, from a personnel standpoint, pretty similar to what LSU tries to do. They do a lot of 11 personnel. They do oh my God, an obnoxious amount of wide receiver screens. So wanted to see how they defended that. Spoiler alert. I think Tennessee gained 2 yards one time. That was their biggest gain on a wide receiver screen. But I wanted to, that's how I wanted to watch their defense. And I watched this Alabama team. I watched this Alabama defense, and just not there's not one thing to put your hold your hat on and say that's scary right there. They're really good at that. They're a sound defense. They got some pillars in the inside of the defensive linemen in the running game that are just big, strong boys, and they can sit there and they can hold point, and it's tough to move them. But they're not making a bunch of tackles. They do a really good job. Their 3 techniques, their 1 techniques, doing a good job of just clogging up and making 2 people block them in the running game. They do that well. Number 42 is their best pass rusher. Ooh, what's his name? Something Pierre.
Isn't it like Yanza?
Yeah,
Pierre?
Yanza Pierre, something like that. But he's got 4
Great
sacks.
name.
He's got 4 sacks. He's their best pass rusher. He's not overly athletic. He's got a high motor. He's got a good swim move, a rip and dip move, if you will. And he's, like I said, he's got a high motor, but he's not a game changer in the fact your number 1 premier pass rusher traditionally is. I think he's tied in the 16th in the SEC with sacks. He's got 4. I think he had 2 of them against Tennessee. So there's not just one thing that you're like, oh man, this is a scary defense. We're gonna have a tough time putting up points. Their secondary sound, really good. They got a one of their safeties that plays down low. He's got a lot of tackles on the year. He does a good job in the running game. But there's just not one thing. So it's not a fearful defense when you're going into it in game planning. So again, it's Alabama. They're playing sound. They're very well coached. They're not going to make any glaring mistakes and leave too many people just sitting wide open. Do a lot of zone coverage though. They're not playing a ton of man. They'll bring zero on you a little bit, which is cover zero, which is they blitz everybody, man-to-man coverage. Yeah. No help over.
They're going
the
to do
top.
that against LSU.
They'll do that against LSU because people have done it against LSU,
has
and we
success.
haven't had answers for it.
Right.
And when we have had answers, it just wasn't schematically very sound. And playing a young running back as well, you're going to blitz him.
Yeah.
That's just going to happen. Yeah, you put the young running back in because he's your best runner. He's got the best vision. He's having the most success. But that also comes with they're going to challenge him with different
for
looks,
sure.
and they should. And that's the way. And he's had a bye week to work on that. So Yeah, you're going to get a lot of variance on the defensive side of the ball with Alabama, but as long as we don't complete close to half our passes behind the line of scrimmage, I think we'll be okay. And if we do what we haven't done in the past, which in the last 2 games we've completed only 2 passes in between the hashes over past 5 yards.
Yeah. Numbers probably got to go up a bit. I would say.
Got to go up a bit.
You got to take the caution tape off that part of the field.
Yep.
If you do that, you got a chance.
Aye.
All right. Well, we're going to catch up with the interim head coach, Frank Wilson of the LSU Fighting Tigers, when we come back here on OTB.
Off the bench.
All right. If you're looking to make your next tailgate or game day legendary, you can do it with Dos Equis, the official beer of fans who keep it interesting. So whether you're grilling outside Tiger Stadium or watching from the couch, crack open an ice-cold Dos Equis lager and raise one to good friends, good times, and great football. Stay thirsty, my friends, and make sure your next round, of course, is a Dos Equis. It is always a great time to go for Dos.
Oh, man, I love a Dos Equis. We live in Louisiana. We live in South Louisiana. And there's one thing that we know is we know how to have an adult beverage and do it responsibly, of course. But we know to have we like a little adult beverage. So if you're going to do it, it's perfect week. We had a bye week. Now it's game day. LSU versus Alabama. Perfect time to go for Dos. To delete maybe a few beers. I think I might have one tonight. Got a old friend in town. Going to go meet him. Might have a couple Dos Equis. We'll see. Go for Dos. Drink responsibly. Go for Dos.
2007 champs, purple and gold to the core. This is Off the Bench with Hester and Flynn. Baton Rouge's go-to for all things Louisiana sports.
Let's get it crunk up on that fun up in this dancery. We got y'all open, now you're floating, so you got to dance for me. Don't need no hater.
All right, welcome back in. OTB here live from the Raising Cane studio. Very excited for our next guest. It is our guy, the interim head coach for the LSU Fighting Tigers. Coach Frank Wilson joins us now. Coach, what's going on? How you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. How you doing, Matt? How you doing, Jacob?
Doing fantastic. Glad to have you on. Excited to have you on. Excited about the opportunity for LSU this weekend in Tuscaloosa. So, Coach, just kind of want to, go back and look at the time when you find out you're going to be the interim head coach for the LSU Tigers. Just because, Coach, I've known you for a long time. I know what this place means to you. I know what this state means to you. So when you found out that you were going to be in charge of this football program moving forward for the rest of the season, what was that moment like for you?
It was gratifying. My immediate thought was, okay, what's the first thing we need to do to hold this team together? What's the first thing we need to do to give us stability and understanding that we're going to be all right? And so my immediate concern turned to our student athletes, to our kids, in preparation to give them mindset, to give them understanding and answers, because they were confused and they were surprised. And so we're an emotional being, and all those array of feelings happen. And so I just wanted to serve our student athletes, and then also to meet with our staff and support staff, because it affects them as well, to have conversation with those guys. This is where we're at. This is what we're trying to accomplish. And here's what we can control. And there's some things we can't control, and so to have those conversations was the most important thing for me. And you would think it would be a time of jubilation, but didn't have time for it.
Well, Coach, and that's where I was going to go next. Like, what has maybe been the main focus this week? Is it resetting your mindset? Is it scheme? Or is it just reminding the guys what LSU football is supposed to look like?
Yeah, and so it is mean, tough, and nasty.
Yep.
Let's get back to our DNA. Let's remember who we are. Let's not forget who we are. And not that those things has not been preached and said to them, because they have. But here's how I believe that looks for us.
Right.
All right. So we're not going to just talk it. We're going to walk it. And here's the style of play. Here's the methodology of it to earn that, to get that, so that we we go into this game with a mindset knowing that the most physical football team is going to win this football game.
Coach, when something like this happens, when there's a change midseason, I think it's easy to forget in this day and age in college football with contracts the way they are, with the NIL the way it is, it's easy to get kind of lost in the whole business side of things, that there's a human aspect to all of this, from support staff to coaches, that you singled out individually the players. Now in this world, like, it's hard to avoid the outside noise, right? Especially when things are going poorly. And the message is easy to say, like, we got to control, we got to be together. But how do you put that into practice of telling the kids, telling the players, like, don't look at what everybody else is saying. Don't look at that outside noise and just focus on what we're doing no matter, because it's hard to avoid the social medias, the interviews, all that stuff. How do you put that into practice each and every day?
Yeah, I think there's a way that you would articulate that, and then there's a way that you live it, right? And so from the time we get together at 2:00, let's take care of the business at hand. This is our emphasis today. This is our dress of the day. This is not just what we're doing. This is why we're doing it. And so it's our responsibility to equip you with not just what we're doing, but the why and how we're going to do it. And I think the more information and the more that we're able to act it out, to model it, to show it, the greater buy-in it is for the student athlete. You can say, be tough, or you can say, don't worry about it. Well, you're human, right? In a humanistic world, you're going to have these feelings. That's okay. That's not abnormal. Here's ways that you can help cope with that. Here's a piece that when you have player interview at the end of practice, here's our unified voice and our message to our loyal fans and where we're at. Now, you put that in your words, but we have one voice in how we're going to go about conducting our business, and it's going to start here, and it's going to matriculate all the way down, from the training room to the weight room to sports medicine to the cafeteria. This is us. This is who we are. This is all in, and it's our theme. And we're all in, and we're going to live it, we're going to act it, and we're going to show our players by being demonstrative and the way that we live and do our business.
Catching up with LSU interim coach Frank Wilson here on OTB. Coach, you've always been known as one of the best recruiters in the country. How important is it right now to keep that Louisiana wall strong? I'm sure there's questions, but this is a class that has a lot of talent. It's got 5 stars. It's got guys from Louisiana already committed to LSU. What has it been like on the recruiting front, trying to make sure that wall stays strong?
Every situation is unique, so some of them are conversations with the student athlete. Some of them are conversations with the high school coach.
Yeah.
Some in the world that we live in is a conversation with their agent, or their grandparent or whatever it may be. Understanding, identifying who are those people that are most impactful, influential to the student athlete, giving them information, yet again, no different than our current team, our current staff, that we can't and won't allow somebody to speak on our behalf, that in the midst of all that's going on, that they can't have a void in communication, because then it creates chaos. And so we have to handle the communication piece. We have to fill in and then say to them, you have a direct line, all right? So you don't have to wonder. They don't have to speak for us. You have a direct line to the source. So all your questions or your concerns, lay them here, bring them here so that we can give you comfort and equip you also with a knowledge base of, no, I understand what's happening with my school. No, that's not true. I talked to Coach. Here's what he said. And as we move to this what we call 30 countdown to signing day, 30 days away, just our approach. We've been doing it, heightening it. Tonight is our big power hour.
Yep.
Where we'll continue to do so. And there's a game plan that involves everybody from our NI LSU to our sports medicine department, our training department, admissions and applications as we move forward to these kids who are mid-year graduates. What does that look like? And so we're going about business, and we're positioning ourselves what every viable part, every branch that's in this process of transition, of onboarding, so that they have answers and there's no void there. And nope, I did that. Nope, yeah, I got my flu shot. I talked to my counselor. We got the transcript ordered. Oh, no, coach sent me the link, so I'm going to make application for school today, and on and on and on. And so we're very conscientious, very strategic in our approach and getting them to the finish line, which is National Signing Day.
Coach, you mentioned the words earlier, mean, tough, and nasty. Those are three words that I think every LSU fan listening,
Absolutely.
man, gives you a little chill bumps, makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up. And unfortunately, like sometimes it feels a little nostalgic when we think about those words with LSU football. Well, this week we heard the reports, Blake Baker talking to you about, hey, let's practice a little mean, tough, and nasty.
Hey, you guys would have loved practice yesterday.
Oh, I know we would. Come on.
Listen, man, it was one you would have been proud of.
Yeah.
Your Tigers fought like Tigers. They competed with the physicality that we've been built upon. So we had a great day of practice yesterday. Sorry about that.
I love it. No, that's exactly where I was going, Coach. I wanted to know about practice. I wanted to see how those kids competed. I mean, we're talking about mid-season, Coach. We're talking about resetting the standard with mean, tough, and nasty, and I love hearing those words from you, and I love hearing the practice report.
Yeah, so they embraced it. Certainly, it was controlled. We didn't take people to the ground. But in the trenches, in that box, in spaces, there's opportunity to be sincere with contact. As we say, kiss him with your face mask. Uncoil your hips. You fit him and let him run. And so it was thud, but it was one that our kids enjoyed, had fun in doing so. And you know what? We can do that. We can block that. We can run that. We can fit that at warp speed. And so we challenged our team to do so, and they responded in a very positive manner.
Coach, we saw media had some availability yesterday, and we saw some pictures and some looks at the all-in drum in the team meeting room. Tell us a little bit about that.
So here's the buy-in for us. There's an offense, there's a defense, and then there's a combination of offense and defense that comprise and make up our special teams with our specialists. But the game doesn't start until the official put that ball in play. Yep. When that ball goes in play, it breathes life into the game. And so we call it the heartbeat of our football team. At the end of the game, when the official takes that ball and raises in the air, the time have expired. It's deceased. There's no more football to be played. And so when we, on certain days, when we start our special teams, it starts with the heartbeat. And it's not something I came up with. It's something that Pete Carroll came up with many years ago, and I learned from Ed Ogeron and have carried it with me for years.
Yep.
And so I just think it's resounding. It's very direct for our players, for our team to understand that when you go out there for the first snap, you set the tone. It's the heartbeat of what we do. And so we just gave it life. We wanted to breathe life into our team, into our special teams with the heartbeat, with the drum being symbolic of that, of a heart palpitating. And so it's a boom, 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 boom. And then as it gets faster and faster, it's almost at a cardiac rate to allow us to explode on the kickoff or kickoff return.
Love that answer. All right, last one, Coach, before we get you out of here, and we certainly do appreciate your time. When the Tiger fans watch your team take the field this weekend, what do you want them to see and what do you want them to feel about LSU football?
Yeah, I like them. I think what they will see is a team that's willing to fight, a team that's willing to strain, a team that has no quit in them, that's going to do everything in their power to position themselves to be victorious. we're going to fight this team. We're going to pick a fight and set the tone from the onset of the game. I think I like our fans at the end of the game to be proud and say, okay, all right, here we go. That's what we're used to. That's our Tigers in style of play. I don't know what the outcome will be. Here's what I can tell you, though. We're going to pick a fight. All right? We're going to talk with our helmets and our shoulder pads.
Right.
In the right way, in the way that Tigers play.
Let's go.
I want to be
Let's
part of
go.
that fight.
Can't wait.
I want to be part of that fight.
Cannot
so
wait.
bad.
I'm glad I'm on the plane, man. I can't wait to get there, be in the atmosphere, and call that game. Hey, Coach, can't thank you enough. Man, so happy for you. Excited for this opportunity for you, for this football team, and look forward to Saturday and seeing what the Fighting Tigers look like there in Tuscaloosa.
Thank you guys for having me. Appreciate you very much. Go Tigers, baby.
All right,
Tigers.
go
Thanks,
Tigers. Interim head coach Frank Wilson, good enough to join us here. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go. I want to be a part of that fight.
Yeah. You can come hang out. You can come hang out in the booth with us. We're not letting you talk, though.
Can't fight anyone in the booth.
We're not
I guess
letting you
can.
talk. Right? Man, it's pretty small. It's like a phone booth fight, which is, sometimes the best ones.
Let's go.
Can you imagine Matt on the call?
What are you doing? It's quarter halves. Yeah, I can imagine.
It'd be
I don't know
electric.
that- it would be electric. It certainly would be. I can't thank Coach Frank enough. Obviously, a crazy, crazy time for him. But I reached out to him yesterday, Matt, and he's like, of course.
Yeah.
He said, of course I'll come on. He's like, the other day when I called on y'all during y'all showtime, we're like, were y'all there? I'm like, yeah. He goes, all right, I'll be there.
Yep. That's right.
So that's what we do for each other.
Remember the in the movie, I hate to make this reference, but like in the movie The Replacements, the first play of the second half in the last game got 11 personal fouls.
Yeah.
Because they went and picked a fight.
They did.
Hey, if there's some penalties from aggression, I'm all right with it.
I'm okay with it too.
Let's trade in false
responsibly. Let's trade. That's exactly what I was about to say.
And holding calls on wide receiver screens.
15-yard penalty.
Let's go.
Set the tone. Let them know.
Pick
All
a
right.
fight.
We'll take a break. More OTB when we come back here live from the Raising Cane studio.
Off the bench.
Russell Pools. Go to Russell Pool Company. RussellPools.com is the website. Let them build your dream pool. What is your dream pool? I don't know. It's your dream pool, not my dream pool. My dream pool is going to be different. But the
whatever
good
you
part
want.
about it is they can build mine. They can build Matt's, Alondra's, Tay-Tay's. Does not matter. They can get it done every single time. And look, if it can be a little bit of Alondra's dream pool, mixed with mine, mixed with Matt's, mixed with Tay-Tay's, they can do that as well. They can do whatever you want. You can see it there on the homepage, russellpools.com, russellpools.com.
Sorry, you want a square? You want a rectangle? You want a circle?
Maybe you're into
You want a
kidney
star?
pools. I don't know.
I don't know. You want a lazy river?
Sure.
You want spell your name out in a pool? They can do it.
I've seen LSU
Whatever.
spelled out before.
They can take you to whatever. When you think of custom pools, when you think of the best pool company in Louisiana, you think of Russell Pools. And you should, because they've been doing it a long time, and they've helped out many, many, many pools. If you dream it, they can design it, they can build it, they can maintain it right there. RussellPools.com.
Tigers turn talkers. This is Off the Bench.
All right, welcome back in, OTB. I want to remind you about All-Star, ToyotaBatonRouge.com. Buying new, leasing, renting, everything is available, always available. Multiple options in every single category. That's just what you're going to get over at All-Star Toyota. So go rent a vehicle today or reserve it for the holidays. Call Miss Lisa Sessions in the rental department. All-Star, ToyotaBatonRouge.com.
Can I say a couple quotes from our? I wrote a couple things down when Frank was talking, because that was. If you're an LSU Tiger fan, if you are ready to roll, if you wanted a little change, listen to that interview.
Yeah, if you want some juice and you want the juice meter to go up as you get ready for Tuscaloosa.
Mm-hmm. You ask them what we're going to see. Quote, you're going to see a team that is willing to fight, a team that is willing to strain. We are going there to fight. We are going there to pick a fight. That's the message you want right now. That's the message you want after all the dirty laundry that's been aired since Kelly's been fired. All of that. We kind of see the writing on the wall of what was. We don't need to talk about that right now because we had a head coach, an interim head coach, Frank Wilson, that is setting the tone, setting the message, and everything that we've heard coming out of that building is all positive vibes, and everybody, you got the buy-in that you've been wanting, that you should have got from your high-dollar head coach. We are going to fight, and you're going to see a team that's willing to strain. I loved the use of words right there.
Absolutely.
And we can't wait to watch, Coach.
That sounded like Muhammad Ali.
Yeah. Going to go pick a fight. And do it the right way, he said.
Do it the right way.
Talk with our pads and our helmet. Let's go. Only one thing left to do now.
Got my heart pumping. Got it racing.
More OTB when we come back. Hour number 3.
Off the bench.